energy, right? By this point, I was working on my master's of law. Finished law school, passed the bar, then did my master's of law. But the thing that really crystallized for me being a mom and able to be successful is you have to have the support, right?
I remember God saying to me, listen, if you didn't die at the point of impact, you're going to be okay. You know the point of impact. When you get the knock on the door, you know the point of impact. When you pick up the phone and you get that news, if you didn't die on the point of impact, you're going to be all right. That's a good place to clap your hands right there.
Inside of you. There's something more powerful inside of you. Honey, y'all better take a breath. I'm telling you.
It wasn't mine.
You gonna get some deliverance here today. Hey there, good afternoon. We are live. Welcome to the Nicole Mason Show. Listen, today this is a special show because my sister and my friend is with me today. So y'all know I usually open up by myself and formally introduce my guests, but I'm like, no, this is my sister. This is how we roll. So this is gonna be like we riding in the car together. Or we at dinner together. So let me just tell you. This is Minister Pamela Carter Pugh, and we're going to talk about the pew in a little while. But I wanted to honor the survivors of breast cancer, and I also want to bring awareness because we are in Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We had Mildred Muhammad with us a couple of weeks ago talking about domestic violence, and I thought I would invite you to talk about breast cancer awareness and just talk about your journey and that saying that you don't look like what you've been through.
I know that's right.
Okay, talk right into the mic. All right, so hey.
Hi. You know, this is such a privilege. It's such an honor for me to be here to talk about this because this is something that as Black women, we don't talk about. We go out to a club, meet a man, let him feel all over us, but we won't feel over ourselves. You know what I mean? So I have an issue with that.
Wait a minute. See, this is how we roll on the Nicole Mason Show. Truth to power, okay?
Yes.
Truth to power.
Yeah. You let a stranger, but you won't. And this is why our survival rates aren't as high as white women.
Yes.
Because they don't have an issue. We do.
So let's get right into it. So let's start to talk about your journey. Then we're going to talk about, and we have to say hey to our Periscope family. Oh, what happened? Y'all know me and my technology. Okay, there we go. Hey, y'all. Okay. So let's talk about, before we go into what we need to do, let's talk about your journey. And I have a picture of your journey. So if we could put up pick one and just, I love that picture right there. I love that one. And the second one, Mike, it says Pam's picture one, because I wanted people to see what you looked like while you were going through your treatment. Yes, here it is.
Yes.
And then look at you today. It's like, oh my goodness.
Difference in night and
day. So talk about your journey. How long ago was that?
That was 12 years ago.
Wow.
May. But how it started, you know, with most of us having a relationship with the Lord. And in December 31st, 2003, the Lord said, I'm going to do something wonderful for your family next year.
Wow.
So I'm excited. Okay, God, I'll be the one. Send me.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the end of it. Come May. Wait a minute, Lord, I didn't sign up for this. You said something wonderful. How is breast cancer wonderful?
Wow. Wow.
But it was. It was a journey for me and my family.
Yeah.
It got my family to see just who God was and what he meant to me.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It got me to see who I was to God and the strength, the authority, and the power I had in me.
Yes.
That I didn't know was in me. You know, we all know, we from the hood. We got a little fight in us. but we don't realize how much until your back is up against the wall.
And that's so funny. I had my husband cracking up. So yesterday, since Thursday, I was at a women's conference at my home church. And so I did my presentation on yesterday. So one of the ladies said last night, girl, you always fighting. You just always fighting. I started laughing. I said, honey, you don't know the half of the fight.
Exactly.
And so you're absolutely correct. You don't really know what you have in you until your back is up against the wall. So tell me, go ahead.
When I felt my lump, had my mammogram. Had my mammogram. The 29th of March. Everything came back abnormal. Well, you know what? I got an issue with that.
Okay.
Because what is that? What really is abnormal? It need to be something on that card to explain what it is. Because now you're getting a little crazy. Your mind is all over the place.
Well, I guess they don't do that just for that reason. That's why they have you come back for your consultation or what have you. Tell me about the process.
But see, in the meantime,
your mind is going.
Yeah. So you can't, I found this on a Saturday.
Wow.
So you can't get to the doctor's office until Monday.
Yeah.
So, but me taking a shower, I found it.
Wow.
And I said, what in the world? You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And I called my doctor, and when I went to him, he said, oh, well, Pam, it's a little lump. Let's wait and see. Oh, the devil is a liar. Because I could be dead.
Wow. And so to that point, because that's not the first time that I've heard that. I've heard another woman talk about the doctor saying, let's wait. And that's one of the things, too, that I really want us to talk about as it related to your journey, because we've had this conversation before up and down the road, right? Just really taking your health into your own hands and
being
not
your own advocate.
Right. And not just sitting back waiting for somebody to tell you.
To give you the permission to go do something.
Yes.
We take our children's issues into our hands and we deal with it. We take on the world, but we won't do it for ourselves.
Wow. So he says, let's wait.
He said, let's wait. I said, no. I said, really?
Right. I know you with that fight in you.
I said, you got a pillow? Cut this out now. He said, oh, no, we can't do that now. Yeah, we can. Because I really didn't want to wait. I wanted it out.
Right.
But I said to him, okay, I'm your wife. I'm your mama. Your daughter. Who you sending me to?
Right.
And so he gave me the information. I went to him on a Wednesday. He gave me the information. On Thursday, I called the surgeon. On Friday, I was in the surgeon's office. I said to him, what hospital are you on staff?
Right.
Can we go today?
Right.
He said, Miss Carter, let's just wait till Monday. Okay, because I really want this out.
And so what were you thinking at that time? So let's back up. So you get the letter. It says abnormal. So you schedule the appointment to go in. And during that time, is that when they give you the diagnosis?
That's when they said, well, it was so small. And that's why he said he really wanted to wait. I said, no, the Holy Spirit said it had to go.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to the Holy Spirit. He said it got to go. I agree.
Yes.
It got to go.
Right.
And I didn't care how it went. It had to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know I had that experience with my aunt, sitting there with her when they gave her a diagnosis, and just how in that moment you have to be real strong in your spirit, in your mind, and if you aren't, at least have somebody there with you.
Exactly.
Who is.
Exactly.
Because my aunt, she was planning to go by herself to the doctor. I was like, no, I'm going with you.
Mm-hmm.
And, she was like, no, I'm okay. I said, no, I'm going with you and I'll meet you there. And so I did. And I was so glad that I did, because in that moment when they said to her that she had cancer, it was like somebody had sucked the air out of the room. And I remember her just squeezing my hand so hard. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now, all right. I had to just kind of gather myself, because I realized in that moment she was holding on to me for strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My mom went with me. That was my support.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, and you really don't hear everything.
And that's exactly what I was getting ready to go to, because I could tell my aunt shut down.
Yeah, you because when you hear that word cancer, we don't think about how far we've come with this, that you can survive this. We're thinking back in the day, that meant death sentence.
Yes.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, cancer, really? I didn't smoke. I didn't do. So that's what you're thinking.
Right.
But he said, no, Miss Carter, you just happen to be caught up in the numbers. 1 in 8 women.
Wow.
That's a lot of women.
So no family history of it?
At that time, only my mother's sister. And he
Okay.
said, that's not a history. That just so happens to be her and you now.
Okay.
He said, so we need to see how many other women now in the family. Because my mother's mother didn't. My mother didn't. My sister didn't. So that's what he was looking at.
Right.
But it was my mother's sister. And so I said, okay, now what?
Right.
He said, well, we're going in Monday morning and we're going to take it out. You need to be there at 5:30. I said, can I get there at 4?
Right. Right. Let's get it
Yeah,
over.
yeah, because there's a seriousness there. And it's no time, to say, okay, I'll wait and put it off. Because if I had listened to my doctor, I could have been singing a different song.
Wow. So that's the first point, and that was one of the other things I wanted us to talk about, just lessons learned through your journey. So, and you have made that very clear when we've had conversations in the past, just really about being your own advocate. And I really want women who are watching us and those who will come back and watch the video later. So that's one critical lesson that you learned.
That's the first one.
Yes.
You got to look out for you. Ain't but one of you.
Yeah.
We as women, we're good, but I have yet to see a woman raise a family from the grave. So,
Wow.
for me, this is my life.
Yes. Yes.
I don't care what anybody else had to say. Pam's going to do what Pam got to do for Pam.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, see you later.
Right.
Because this is all, right now, this is all about me.
Yeah.
And that's how we have to look at it.
Right. And so that means too that if you have a doctor who is not, you're not gelling with, that means that you should fire that doctor.
You're fired.
Yeah. And that's very important, because another sister that I had the honor and the privilege of walking with through a cancer diagnosis, she, was supposed to have been with one of the top surgeons, around in this area. But when she went to talk with him, it didn't feel right. He wasn't giving her what she felt like she deserved in terms of care, and she fired him.
Yeah, because you're looking for a doctor to listen to you, hear what you have to say, not what statistics, not what the previous patients had to say. This is about me now.
Yeah.
And if you can't zero in and concentrate on me, I have no use for you.
Right.
Because you're getting paid.
Yeah. And so to that end, her thing was, I didn't care what his reputation was.
Exactly.
And to your point, she was like, You know, I needed him to do what I was trying to figure out what was going on with me. And, you know, it was almost as if he were riding on his reputation. Well, I know it all. Well, she's like, well, I don't understand. And I'm trying to ask you to clarify some things. And then finally she just got frustrated and said, you know what? This is my health. Same thing you're saying. I'm going to find another
because
doctor.
every woman with breast cancer is different.
Yes.
Tumors are located in different places. Tumors are different sizes. Tumors have metastasized to other organs.
Right.
So it's different. It's a different. So you have to look at it and take each case as it is,
Right.
not from what 20 years ago when you started out and this is how it happened. No, it's different, and we have to demand that these doctors take us just that way.
Yes, that's powerful. Demand that the doctors look at us individually. And you know, they did a study that showed that when black women go to the emergency room, that we are the last to be cared for.
Exactly.
And so, you know, in the scheme of things, so let me just say to you all, my audience, why we have this platform to bring this kind of information, and they give a whole rundown. You know, it's white men, then white women, then black men, then black women. We're the last to be focused on as it relates to healthcare. So this is one of the reasons too that I wanted to bring you on, because I know just your stance about it and what you went through personally to be able to share with another woman. And you have been such an instrumental person in so many of the other women's lives who've been diagnosed over the last several years. And so I wanted you just to share. So talk a little bit about how your faith helped you.
Well, the one scripture that just it was like a tape recorder in my head. I could always rewind it. It was the 23rd Psalm. And the part where it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of I will fear, because he was with me. And so that helped me. Then my mom had a list of scriptures. And she said, this is what I pray over every day.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, it hit everything.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, okay, God, look at my mama, look at her.
Girl, you better not mess with no woman's
I was
kid.
excited. And the thing I thought about, for a hot minute, I felt bad for the devil. For a hot minute. I said, because I can imagine in my mama's private time.
Yes.
That she's saying, you can come after me, but you done
better
mess
not.
with the wrong one now. So let's get this fight on.
Absolutely.
And for a hot minute, just a hot minute,
That's a hot one.
I felt bad for him because I knew he was in for a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew that, but then I knew I had to show my son. This is how you fight.
Yes.
This is how you fight this enemy. You can't do physical harm to it, but this is how you have to go at it. And you have to go at it with prayer. You can't back down.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, I'm sorry. You can't. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Put your shield on.
Yeah.
Get your arm in your hand.
Yes.
And let's go to war.
Yeah.
Because now you have invaded my body, and you got to go.
Yeah. I had Minister Angela Thornton on at the end of last year.
Yes.
And she was going through
Yes.
her own journey. But I love what she said. She said it wasn't mine. It wasn't. It invaded a
Yes.
sacred space, so it didn't have any authority to be in my body.
Exactly.
I love that.
I wanted it gone.
Yes.
You got to go.
Yes.
Yes. And for me, I said to God, God, if you allow me to make it through this journey, I promise you every day I will tell someone about what you've done for me.
Yes.
And I have held true to that. It's been my privilege to share. It's my privilege to listen. Because as I said, every case is different.
Right.
Even down to speaking to husbands. And I tell them, you need to tell your wife how much she means to you.
Yeah.
What the family would be like without her. There are going to be days she's going to be upset, depressed. She don't really know why.
Yeah.
She's going to cry, and there's no real reason. But just like she cries, it's over.
Yeah.
So if you got teenagers, tell them shut the drama down.
Right. Right.
Shut it off.
Yeah.
Because right now, we got to focus on mom.
Absolutely.
Right now, you need to get family members. You need to get community. You need to get your church involved that can help out with meals to help out. Because when she's down, her family still has to run. That household still has to function.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she doesn't need to be upstairs in her bed wondering, okay, are my kids eating?
Yeah.
Are my kids getting clean clothes? Are they
Yeah.
getting?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't help our healing.
Right.
So I tell the husbands, get a card, send her flowers, tell her how much she means to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let her know. Because she needs to know that she matters to you.
Right. And so this process, because that's a part of the process.
Part of the process.
So when you, when they said, okay, we're going to do the surgery, and so talk about your treatment.
The surgery, I had never had surgery. Had a child, but never had to be cut or anything. So I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Y'all cut me all up. I ain't got a whole lot up here. You trying to take what I got. But anyway, I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
Let's go on, let's do this. But the process of it, the surgery was good. I can say that I bounced back a lot faster than I thought.
Okay.
It was that chemo that just slapped you down.
Yeah.
It tramples you on the floor, step all over you. Don't care nothing about none of that.
Right.
And the first go round, I was like, oh, this
You
it?
can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this.
And so my nurse said, well, Pam, how you doing? I said, oh, good. She said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I said, oh, this is about an 8.5. She said, really? 21 days later, I was singing another song.
So did you have to do 21-day treatments?
It was every
succession?
It was every 21 days. It was a treatment.
Okay.
So I had met with my team, my oncologist, my radiologist, and my surgeon.
Okay.
So they had already started working on a plan of health and healing for me.
Yes.
That's what I like. And they included me
Yes.
in
Yes.
that process. So my oncologist said, well, Pam, when you go through this, different things are going to take place. So he said, so you might as well, cut your hair down short because he said it's going to fall out. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not happening to me. He said, okay. So I said, now what about this menstruation cycle thing I got going on? What's going to happen with that?
Right.
He said, well, that should probably taper off. So I said, okay. Because my thing is, I don't want to have to deal with chemo and deal with that too.
Right. Some of the things we think about.
Yes, because it's important.
Right.
I just,
Right. Let me cover all the bases. I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't want to have to
Okay?
deal with that.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay. So when I had the first round of treatment, I was sitting at home watching TV with my son, and I said, oh, I'm going to go upstairs in between the commercial, wash my makeup off. Took the makeup off, ran my hand through my hair, and when I tell you, it lifted off my scalp.
Wow.
Into my hand.
Oh, my goodness.
And I looked in the mirror and I said, oh, God, this is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, this is real. Something said, do the other side, and that came off.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, something just snapped in me, and I kept going until all of my hair in less than 5 minutes was gone. I was bald after one round of chemo.
Wow.
And I said, ooh, I can't go back downstairs. So I don't know why I gathered all my hair and put it in a plastic CVS bag, set it at the foot of my bed, had a satin bonnet, put that on, and got in the bed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my son came upstairs. He said, Ma, I thought you were coming back downstairs. And I didn't answer him. And he said it 3 times to me. And the third time, I just snatched the bonnet off. And he looked like.
Wow.
And he just stepped back and shut the door.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him. Because
He didn't know what to do.
He didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what to do for him.
Right. Or for you
Because I didn't know
moment.
what to do for me either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm laying there and I said, okay, God, I said I was going to do this. Now, I'm expecting you take care of all this. But right now, I'm not clicking up here. So you got to help me. You need to do something for me, with me, to me, to get me to understand, because tomorrow is a work day.
Right.
How am I going to work with this bald head? It was just, you think about all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just everything. And a lot of it, it's the enemy. Okay, she broke right now. So let me see how broke her spirit is.
Yeah.
So let me go in and let me just start filtrating her spirit.
And that's why I know it's so important, the work that you do with other women who get the diagnosis, to really rally around people, because, just you recounting it, and this has been 12 years, my energy is just like, oh my goodness, because you're in that moment, you're by yourself, and a lot of people, they try to handle it by themselves, but you really
it's
need
too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
You
It's
really
very
need help.
overwhelming. It really is, because when my doctor called me after the surgery and said, "Okay, Miss Carter, I got some good news for you," and I said, "Okay." I'm thinking it ain't cancer. He said the tumor was cancerous, and I'm saying to myself, I thought you said you had some good news. So I'm talking to myself, and I can hear him talking in the phone. So I had to now tell myself, "Shut up, Pam, and listen." So he said, "Your tumor was, it was advanced." So I said, "Okay." He said, "But it was contained." So
break that down for people who might be looking and trying to figure this out.
Well, I had to break it down for myself.
Right.
I know what contained means. I got the dictionary out.
Right. And that's why I said.
And opened it up and I read. I said, so then I got a shout on, because now I know it hadn't spread. It hadn't metastasized to any other organ. It was still right where it was supposed to be. He said, which means it was just easier to remove it.
Sure.
So for that, for me, it was a little, but it was a victory.
Yes.
It was a victory, because even though I got the diagnosis that it was breast cancer, it was life-shattering.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a death sentence. He didn't tell me it's nothing we can do for you.
Right.
So we get life-shattering news every day.
That's good. That's good, sis. That's good.
We get it every day. We just don't allow it to take us out.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the thing. And so I had to sit down and then really talk to my son, explain to him. But at 19, his thing is, what's going to happen to me, Mommy?
Yeah. So everybody is impacted. And that's why I like the fact that you talked about talking to the husbands for those women who are married and get a diagnosis. And I did a program at my job. I was the president of the Federal Employed Women's Chapter. And we had a guy come in whose mom had been diagnosed, and his sister. And so he talked about that from the son, the brother perspective, and just how he was able to support them, but just how he felt, how he felt hopeless and like, I just can't do anything.
Yeah, because for men, their thing is to fix stuff. You can't fix this.
Yes.
This is a process.
Yes.
We all got to go through it.
Right.
So that's the tough part for them, trying to go through the process. And my son, being an only child, didn't have siblings that he could reach out to. He said, I didn't have friends that I could talk to about this, because their moms are healthy.
Yes.
There's nothing going on with their moms.
Right.
So I said, okay, this is what I need. I said, God, I really, really, really need to do this, because so many people need to know and understand that just because this happens in your household doesn't mean there's no help. That doesn't mean there's no support. Because I tell women, get you a good group of disciples. It ain't got to be 12. But get you a couple girls that you know that's going to pray for you.
Yes.
Until the Lord say different.
Yes.
That's what you need. Because as you said, we can't do this by ourselves.
Yeah.
Because there are days when you want to pray for yourself, nothing comes to mind. You can't even begin to pray for yourself. And that was one thing I used to think, oh, you can always pray for yourself. Girl, I found that out the hard. Yeah. So you feel the prayers of those warriors that are praying on your behalf. And we need that.
Yeah, and one of the things that came to me while you were talking, and I think this is so important for so many women, you know, just really finding those pieces of hope that you can grab or hold to. Like you said, when he said, you know, the tumor is cancerous, but it's been contained, you know, and just really seeing the hope in that and holding on to it, you know, for dear life, because that's really what you're doing.
Because that's all I got right now.
Yes.
Is that.
Yes.
Until the second surgery took place a month later, and they did the lymph nodes. And when he told me, he said, we removed 9.
Wow.
Which was that cluster. He said, not a hot one in the bunch. Well, thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the next victory.
Right.
So this is what, you know, you take this, you take whatever victories you can get, and you hold on to it. Because my thing is, okay, God, well, you blessed me last month and said it was contained. I said, and I gave you your props.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me not one was hot, which means none of them were cancerous.
Right.
So I'm excited about that. Okay, what else you got to take out? Okay. Now you're going through the whole process of checking to make sure that the cancer originated in the breast.
Okay.
Or did it originate somewhere else?
Okay.
And that's another mind process, because now you're thinking, okay, well, God, really? And so once I did that, and they said, no, it was contained just in the breast. Okay, what's next?
Okay. Yeah, so I know you've had the opportunity to talk with so many other women. Talk a little bit about, you know, just when you're going through the chemotherapy, how that affected you, impacted you, you know, and just your daily routine.
I was blessed to have a supervisor that understood. Because he allowed me to work from home 12 years ago when it really
that's
wasn't.
What I was going to say. Telework wasn't all that popular.
Wasn't popular then. And it was only for certain people.
Yeah.
But his thing was, he had a mother that died from breast cancer.
Wow.
He had a brother that died from cancer. He said, I can't do nothing for them, but I can help you.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was the next victory for me.
Yes.
So I could see the Lord saying what he said. He just went about it in a different way.
Right.
And so I worked from home. So he said, don't log on early in the morning like you do. Just log on about 10.
Yeah, because you like a 6 o'clocker.
Yes,
really.
you know, 6 o'clock, you know. But I did that. But it allowed me to kind of stay engaged.
Yes.
It kept my mind off of things.
Yes.
Because as I did all the chemo, you know, they put the port in you, and I'm going back to the doctor to see if they're going to take the port out. And it's so important for nurses to have the heart of people.
Yeah.
Because if you have a nurse that doesn't, you already on a journey.
Yes.
And now you're going to add your stuff onto what I have to deal with.
Well, we ain't going to talk about that.
So we're not going to talk about that.
Talk about
yeah, because I wanted to meet outside when she got off work. And, you know, one of those.
One of our road trips, I'm sitting there like, Pam, you, girl, what? Oh, my goodness. And she said, what? And you did what? I'm like, oh, my goodness. And I know, you know, you come in there and you just like, really, lady?
Yeah, she was just downright nasty to me.
Wow.
And so, I mean, to the point my mom said, let's go. Let's go. I said, no, I want to wait. She said, no. We're not waiting on nobody.
Right.
We're going to let the Lord deal with her. I want to see. No. We're going to go.
And, you know, and I think that's one of the other lessons, too. You know, you need that support system. You need somebody to go with you to your appointments.
Yes.
So,
so they can hear what you miss. Because you miss it all.
Yeah.
You hit cancer, and now you somewhere else.
Yeah.
For some women, they're planning. They're planning that funeral.
Yeah.
Or they're planning how they're going to tell somebody.
Yeah.
So for me, it was that. But that day, when I got home, that's when the devil took full advantage of me.
Wow. Talk about that.
Because I was having issues with depression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our hair is our crown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's everything.
Yes, no, I get
but
that.
But
yes,
it's
yes.
our it's who we are.
Mm-hmm. It's very important.
It's
to
very
us.
important to us. So I got home, and the devil said, "They didn't take that port out of you because they didn't get all the cancer."
Wow. Wow.
So I'm sitting there and I'm by myself, and I could hear this little girl's voice in my head. Pam's gonna die. Pam's gonna. I mean, it was like, you know, you see kids outside skipping and singing that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, every day for 2 weeks.
Wow.
These voices, they were coming by numbers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting at home and I'm got the volume on the TV as loud as it would go. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, God, help me, help me. Yeah. I said, because I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And he said, yes, you do. Mm-hmm. And I said, God, I don't. What do I do? He said, you know what to do. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this went on, and then about a week after that, I didn't hear nothing from the Lord. Now I'm scared. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cause not, where are you, God? What? Mm-hmm. You can do this. Mm-hmm. That last day was 2.5 weeks. I had gotten home from work, and it was a bad day. And I was sitting there, and I heard this voice with such power and authority said, prepare to die.
Wow.
And that's what shook me. That woke me up, and I said, shut up.
Yes. Yes.
In the name of Jesus, shut up.
Yes. Yes.
Because God said, I'm going to live and not die. Mm-hmm. Shut it down. Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear anything. I cut the sound down on the TV, and I'm looking all around. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I said, wow. He said, that's what I told you to do. Mm-hmm. You had the authority to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized the authority that I really had in me. Because we know we have it in us, but like I said, you really don't realize it until your back is against the wall.
Absolutely.
And now you coming out fighting, because it's about me living. And after that, I never had an issue about voices, because I used to think, oh, you don't hear nobody talking to you, but I do. I have sympathy now for people who go through that, because that's serious.
Yes. Yes.
That's some serious business. But once I got through all of that, I was able to see light.
Yes.
At the end of the tunnel, because I was in such a dark place for so long doing that chemo and having issues with not being able to go to the bathroom, food. Oh, you can look at that and say, oh, that's fried chicken and some collard greens and some sweet potatoes. Tastes like cardboard. Water tastes like lead. Nothing had a taste.
Right.
So you didn't have a desire to eat anything. But once I had 4 rounds of chemo every 21 days.
Okay.
And so each time I could feel my body trying to break down even more. And, you know, people would say, well, you doing chemo? That's poison. I said, oh, so this cancer gonna kill me. So you rather for me to leave this here and let this kill me than to do this? I tell you what, when it's your turn, you tell me what you gonna do.
Wow.
Because sometimes I realize people don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, because and I've heard that, but the way, I mean, that makes so much sense, the way you just put it. Like, okay, now really, that's my alternative, so I'm just going to let this just run its course, and I have this alternative, despite what you think, right? Despite what you think.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
that's
because
powerful.
when I talked to my oncologist about it, he said, you know what? Nobody went to school to become an oncology to do this but me. He said, I have 30 years of doing this. In 30 years, he said, let me tell you, I haven't lost a patient yet. Okay, that's a good track record right there to me. He said, so if anybody has an issue about this, tell them come talk to me.
Wow.
And I'll tell them. And because I thought about it, I said, but this going to kill me.
Right.
If I leave it in there.
Address it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's powerful. And you know, I hear so many nuggets in your story. So I just want to stop and, you know, kind of give people the time to breathe. It's like breathe, right? Breathe. And this is why we wanted to bring this information to you. To let you know that you can survive the journey. Exactly. So that's the first thing. You can survive the journey. But really wanting people to understand that it is a process.
It's a process.
And not everybody's response to the chemo is the same.
Exactly.
Not everybody's body will respond the same.
Exactly.
But the whole point is to surround yourself with a community. So that's one of the other lessons. And really engage the process is the way I describe it when you're going through something. Engaging the process, meaning that you're not really fighting the process because there's not really too much you can do
about. Yes.
But managing it in a way
is key.
Right. That works for you.
Exactly.
Until you get to the point, because you had a shift.
Yeah.
You had a shift.
That's where your faith kicked in.
There you go. There you go.
It was either stay here or shift to move forward.
That's powerful.
Yeah, because how am I going to be an example to my son or to me if I don't say, okay, what's really important? So let's shift.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift. Let's move forward.
But you know, the thing that I really love about God is he allows us the time to get ourselves prepared.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, the depression and, you know, the coming home and pulling the covers up over your head and just trying to figure it out and, you know, hearing the voices, you know, God is just really giving the opportunity for you to get to the place where you're like, you know what? Enough is enough.
Enough. Exactly.
Because I know that I have something inside of me that's greater than all of this that's going on.
Right.
But and this is what I love about God. He gives us free will and choice.
Exactly.
He had already spoken to you. Listen, I already told you what to do.
Exactly.
So now I'm going to stand back.
And let me see what you're going to do.
Until you decide.
Exactly.
Because it's a decision.
Because it's our free will.
Right. Till you decide that you are going to take this situation in and under control and do your part, because I'm already doing my part.
And you know, you just touched on something, because the thing is, when God asks you to do something, he's already made a way for you. He's already gone on the other side. Provision has already been made.
Yes.
All we have to do is walk it.
Yeah.
That's all we had to do. And I had to remind myself, oh, you said you were going to do something for my family. So, okay, I'm going to survive this.
Yeah.
Because how will my family benefit if I don't?
Ooh. Girl, that's really something. And that self-talk is so powerful. You know, when you really start to weigh it out and you really start to engage the process, like I said, and really coming up with your own solutions, because the reality is everybody has the answer to their own problems inside of them.
Exactly.
Because we are the only creatures that God wrapped himself up in. He walks with us. He talks with us. He tells us that we're his own. And so every answer to every problem, every one of them is already inside
of you.
So when
you just have to tap into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So tell us, pick up when you said, told that voice to shut up in the name of Jesus.
When I realized that, I felt like I was 10 feet tall. And then I couldn't stop thanking God for allowing me to go through that, to shutting himself down so I could do it myself. Because had God done it for me, I still would have never known.
Yes.
I still would have never known what I have inside of me.
Yes.
I would have never known that I could face anything. And so after that, I said, bring it on.
Yeah.
Me and the Lord done handled cancer. Come on.
Yeah.
I dare you to bring it. So that's the kind of, you got to muster it up.
Yeah, that's good.
And you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you really want to live? Are you prepared to die? And had I not done that, I would have missed out on so much.
Yeah.
I would have missed out on so much. And so for every day for me, I'm just glad.
Yes.
Because so many women didn't make it.
Yes. And that's what I was going to say, to that point. And, we don't know why some survive and others don't.
Exactly.
We don't know. God has control of those decisions. But what I want to convey on this platform is you fight to the bitter end, whatever that end is.
Exactly.
Whether you survive or not, you still fight, because that's how you exercise your faith. My aunt, who I was talking about, she was like my second mom, and I was with her when she was diagnosed, but it was with lung cancer. But I watched my aunt for the next 90 days fight to the bitter end. And that's what we have to do, no matter what the situation. That's why I love that when you said we get life altering and life shattering news every day, but it doesn't have to be a death sentence.
Exactly.
And I think, to your point, the death sentence starts in your mind.
And this is why you need to first have a relationship with him. Because if you don't have a relationship, he ain't gonna ask you to do nothing like this anyway.
Well,
because he already know what the outcome gonna be. He don't get no glory out of that.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, having a relationship with him and being willing, being that vessel. Because if he asks you to do it, he already got it.
Yeah.
He got it. He got you. He already know what the outcome is going to be. So all we have to do is just, okay, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It don't feel good.
Yeah.
It don't taste good. It don't look good. The other thing is, you don't look good. You don't have hair. You don't have eyelashes. You don't have eyebrows. Now I'm going to say this. After my first round of chemo, a couple of days later, I go to the bathroom.
See, that's for our road trip, because I already know where you get ready to go. Okay?
And when I tell you, I looked down in my underclothes and I saw my pubic hair. I just tossed it off.
Lord Jesus.
And
Everything.
Everything. This stuff don't play.
So let me ask you this, because every time I'm in a good conversation, my time starts running out. So let me ask you about just coming to grips with, I don't have any hair, I don't have any eyebrows, all that. Because when I see you in that picture, all I see is this beautiful smile like, hey, okay.
I survived.
Right.
I'm still here.
Yeah. So how did you make that mental shift that, okay, I don't have any hair?
Well, I would
Did you wear wigs?
I wore wigs, and it was wintertime.
Okay.
So I became very paranoid because I knew my immune system was not at full tap. So now I'm scared to be around people.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to touch me. I don't want you coming to my house. I'm not coming to your house. I don't want to use nothing you have, because I was afraid that a simple cold could take you out. And that surprised me.
Yeah.
The cancer wouldn't even, it would be the cold,
Right.
the common cold, flu season. So I'm on the train, I got this wig on, and your mind is thinking, everybody know you got cancer, you ain't got no hair up under that wig, you just as bald as you could be, drawing on stuff, trying to, at least trying to look.
Right.
Look like you. But I would get home, I would take the wig off, I just stopped looking in mirrors.
Wow.
Because I didn't like what I saw, and what I saw didn't look like me.
Yeah.
But once my hair began to grow back, in those pictures you have there, I was going to a housewarming a girlfriend of mine had, and when she saw me in December, I had peach fuzz. When she saw me 18 days later, it was covered.
Wow.
And I was looking in the mirror, and I kept looking at myself, and I heard something say, "Who are you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for me." No, the old you has passed away.
Oh, girl, I'm gonna have to invite you back, because that's where the meat is.
That's where, and the new creature is what you see now.
Wow.
And her housewarming theme was, "Come and see what the Lord has done."
Wow.
Well, when I walked in her house and she saw me, she said, "Oh no, this is come see what the Lord has done."
Yes.
Because it was just that powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say from that point on, things got a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
My faith got better. I was no longer ashamed to talk about it. I wasn't afraid to talk about it. There were people on my job that had already said I was dead.
Wow.
And I had to say to God, keep them away because I can't fight them and this.
Right. Okay, so listen, we got to wrap up, okay? But I'm going to tell you something. Connect with Pam on Facebook. If you happen to be going through a diagnosis, she is a great support. She has all kinds of information.
They can send me an email, which is Pamela, Pamela, all lowercase, 20017 at yahoo.com. I'll be happy.
Yes.
More than happy to go through this.
Okay. And I will have that on the video. But we have to wrap up with this. This is the good news. Okay. So after all that she's been through, put up that second pick, Mike, as we go out. This is how we closing out. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
So on October the 7th, I know. October the 7th,
23 days ago.
Right. 23 days ago. She got married
For the first time.
Right, for the first time.
For the first time.
God is so good.
He is.
And I love, hey, you better wave at your husband. Hey, Darius.
Hi,
Darius. I love him because he loves you.
Yes.
The way he looks at you and the way that he handles you.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
And so we say to God be the glory.
For all the things he has done.
All of them. Okay, so that's how we ending, right? That's how we ending on a high note.
This was awesome.
Right.
This was awesome.
Yes,
It
I
was,
have to have you back, but I want you to talk about that part 2. You know, the new you. How
The
you
new
get
me.
into that. How you
embrace
then-
it. Yes.
And then how you have turned this part of your life into a ministry to others. And we'll talk about that and how you all come together at the church that when
Yes.
you're doing that once a year, that beautification piece. I love that. But I appreciate you. I thank
you.
God for you.
I thank you too.
And we'll tell y'all about our Bonnie and Clyde episode.
Yeah, because we go
the
back
next time.
so
Yes.
many years ago. But
Yes.
yes.
We'll have to tell y'all about that the next
Bonnie and
time.
Clyde,
But this is
yes.
my girl right here. Okay.
We lost.
Don't start it. Leave me alone. Yeah, I am gonna tell y'all this as we close. Now we on our road trip. I said, Pam, I think we lost. What's your response?
Okay.
That's all she said. I'm looking at her like, are you kidding me? It's
dark.
pitch black out here. Only thing she
on
said
the road.
was, okay.
On a road that has no end.
Girl, okay, don't have her with you, all right? Because she was no help, absolutely no help. Okay, y'all, thanks for joining us today.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
Right, we wanted to do this breast cancer awareness. Connect with Pam. I'm going to have that information on the video. Pamela Carter Pugh on Facebook. You can connect with her, and we'll have the email on the video. She'll be a great support system for you. Been there, done that. God has blessed her. And through her journey, I am confident she'll be a blessing to you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So let me just take a breather. Y'all know me. I'm high energy, right? By this point, I was working on my master's of law. Finished law school, passed the bar, then did my master's of law. But the thing that really crystallized for me being a mom and able to be successful is you have to have the support, right?
I remember God saying to me, listen, if you didn't die at the point of impact, you're going to be okay. You know the point of impact. When you get the knock on the door, you know the point of impact. When you pick up the phone and you get that news, if you didn't die on the point of impact, you're going to be all right. That's a good place to clap your hands right there.
you. There's something more powerful inside of you. Honey, y'all better take a breath. I'm telling you.
It wasn't mine.
You gonna get some deliverance here today.